Test, test. Yo, 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 yo. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolution is being podcasted, and I am excited. What's going on, y'all? Welcome Sunday. Welcome. It is good to be here. It's good to be here. I appreciate all of y'all coming in and supporting the show, coming to get these gems as we do. Just dopey dope. Let's go. Let me see. It's a good week. I'm happy, doing good, in a good mood, and ready to help save some lives. That's what I'm ready to do. So let's get that going. First and foremost, let me see who's in the comments. In the comments, anybody, if y'all hear me, please give me a thumbs up so we know we're nice and clear. Yeah, let's do that. See if we got if y'all hear me nice and clear. Holla at your boy. Give me a thumbs up if y'all are in the comments and you can hear me. What up? Let me shout out everybody who's in the building today. First, Delaire, Larry Singleton in the building. Rock 750 Gorilla in the building. Kelvin in the house. What's up? JD Harmonies in the building. You played yourself in the building. Z and D Harmonies. Luis de Jesus. Paul in the building. Kenny, y'all hear me good? Great. Thank you. Just trying to wait. Give me a little time to everybody to get in, to come in and you're 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I feel that. Let's see. Lot we want to talk about. We want to talk about consistency today too. Consistency so that you can be attractive to women even when you don't know. Don't get me wrong. When I say that, I mean I think there's a situation where I think we have a different understanding of attraction. There's absolutely a physical attraction, initial physical attraction that comes initially on an animalistic dude. If a dude is working out and he's good looking and whatever. But there's another attraction that exists in terms of the way we communicate, because you can be a good looking guy and be a dirtbag. And if you're acting like a dirtbag, it's going to come through. If you are a dirtbag, it's going to come through. So even if a woman is not initially attracted to her, if you are in her zeitgeist, right, and you are talking and conversing, especially, this works great in groups. It also works great like one-on-one when you're talking to somebody and you're just having a conversation. You can build attraction by what you're saying, what you're talking about. In fact, the initial attraction, yeah, that's kind of instantaneous. I mean, so, we all want to work out and we want to put forth the best product that we can possibly put forth. But substance matters. Understand that substance matters. It matters who you are as a person. So it's interesting because I was talking to I was doing a consultation, and friend of mine, he had not really done what I would say is the best by his wife. Was stepping out and his wife, not a young man, but his wife has been ride or die. what's interesting, they've actually lost a child together. So they have, a few kids, like three sons, and one of the sons actually passed away, and they they stuck it out. She stuck it out. She didn't blame him. He didn't blame her, and they were able to get past that. And what's interesting about that is how when you don't have self-esteem, you don't even appreciate that as a man. That's not even something that you can appreciate because of the fact that whatever anybody does for you more than three times is no longer a favor. It becomes an obligation. We start to build these expectations about what we think we should have because somebody has been doing it. And that goes for men, women, and otherwise. We get comfortable with the things that people do for us, because if they're doing it, then we must deserve it. Which is interesting because I don't think as men, we don't want that kind of, we don't want somebody to talk to us like that or treat us that way, to take things for granted. In fact, that's the quickest way to get a man to stop giving and to stop caring, is if you're in a situation where you are making sacrifice and working your butt off, and you still can't get the accolades or the just the credit for the things that you do overall. And so when I see that happen in the other way, where a dude had a ride or die woman, where a dude had been cheating off and on, actually got busted cheating. Probably many more times. There's times I think where she caught him cheating, where she and times where she hadn't confirmed that he was cheating, but she still kind of knew something was going on, and he kept doing dirt, and so he left his wife. Said, "Oh, I'm not. She's just not of the caliber of type of woman that I think I deserve or what I." And so when somebody says that, it's always interesting to me when I'm talking to somebody and I'm listening to the words that they're saying, the words that are coming out their mouth. It's interesting because you think about, what does that mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean that somebody's not good enough for me? And I think and I asked him that, and he was just saying, she's not that smart. I deserve a smarter woman. So he left his wife, hooked up with this other chick who was, at least on paper, she looked like all the things that he wanted. She had the hairdo. She was very polished, very, but, she's also polished because she didn't have no kids. Older woman, on her mature woman, bad, smoking hot, but also, there's a reason why somebody is that old, in their 40s and 50s, and don't have no man, don't have no kids, and is not with a man. There's a reason why that is, because, dimes don't, I'm not even gonna say dimes, 30s, because we do 1 to 30. 30s they don't lay around, they don't lay on the shelf. They don't lose their shelf life. Even older 30s still have prospects and people. Sometimes they don't always have somebody willing to buy the cow, but if you're an attractive woman, because men are so visual that they're always gonna find an attractive woman attractive. But I watched this whole thing go down. I watched him talk. He even talked to me when he was getting ready to leave. Yeah, thank you, Alex, man. Tell him to get them likes up, man. Tell him to get them likes up. Everybody should be hitting that like button over and over again. But I watched him walk towards this, and I advised him. I said, The thing is that you got somebody who has had your back and has been down with you. You know that she got your back, but because you don't think she's good enough, you don't think she's good enough, then what happens is ultimately you end up in a situation where you want to step out and find something that you perceive as better. So it's funny because this has been going on for about a year. He's been consulting with me back and forth for about a year. Finally, he, moved out. Right away, the girl who he was dealing with didn't believe he was going to leave, because we often don't. We often lie about it. And then I spoke to him actually yesterday. It was like, yo, how's your girl? And he's like, she ain't the one. She ain't the one. And I was like, yeah, I kind of knew that when you were talking about it. I mean, there was nothing wrong with her, but there were definitely red flags and signs that said that she wouldn't. That there was more to this than he could even understand. And I'm going to tell you what's interesting is it all stemmed back to when he was a kid. Grew up poor, didn't have mom wasn't the most supportive person, had a stepfather who was super abusive, physically used to beat the crap out of him, actually. And so you grow up with this idea that you're not important enough, that you're not good enough, right? And so you always want to show off. You want to show everybody, look what I got. Like once you get to the point where you can get the things that you want to get these things, not so much for yourself, but because you want to prove to everybody else that you're worth it. And this is something that plagues, I would say 85% of men, women, and otherwise, when people just don't think they're worthy. And because they don't think they're worthy. And a lot of that, well, I'll get into that in a second. But then it becomes this thing, well, okay, this is the crazy thing. And this happens a lot of times when I'm doing consultations. And don't forget the phone lines are open. If y'all want to, I'll talk about this, but, and I'll close out on this, but phone lines are open. If there's something pending, man, call in. You know what it is, because we're going to do, if I get a lot of calls, we'll go longer. Depends. If I'm going to be the only one talking, then, I'm going to give you these gems and we're going to shut it down and I'm going to get some sleep. But there's a situation where we grow up and we are the people who are most important in our lives are telling us that we're not important enough, that we're not loved enough, that we're not special enough. And we learn that on as little kids. And so this sculpts us into the people that we become. And then we do things to prove to everybody else that we're worthy. And then the people who do like us, the people who do think that we're worthy, the people who are around us, who are in our corner and are all about us, we don't think they're worthy because they like us. Let me explain that, because I know that sounds like a weird concept, but what ultimately happens is there's an old saying. It says, I would never be part of a group that would have me as a member. So if I believe I'm not worthy and I ain't shit, and I believe that in my heart, and you do, in essence, what I'm going to say, that the math that I'm doing in my head is, I know I ain't shit, and you like me, so it must be something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you because you like me. How crazy is that we create this gymnastics where we're willing to not even willing, but it actually is a coping mechanism. And what will happen a lot of times is because when we go under this trauma where we are not worthy, we're abused, or somebody as a child, we're not being nurtured and lifted up so that we can have the confidence that we want. We have to come up with a way to emotionally survive. So at 8 years old or 10 years old or 6 years old or whatever it is, whatever the trauma was, we end up trying to figure out a way as an 8-year-old to navigate life so that we can survive emotionally. So our behavior changes. You'll see this a lot of times when you get highly promiscuous women who have been molested before. It's because as a child, their intimacy has been violated. I've been siphoning back and forth on the Diddy thing. I mean, the abuse that he put people through, and put kids through, then they become, especially with a woman, it's like intimacy is painful because intimacy happens with us as children before sex is introduced. And when we have situations with people who have been molested by pedos and people, old uncles. Yeah, I'm taking calls. Why? Somebody called in and it wasn't working? Hold on one sec. Let me check. Let me check. The call should be working, man. Let me see. Uh, let's see real quick. Let me make sure all the settings are right. I'm calling it, so it should come up. Chat. That's weird. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check the phones. That's weird. Is it do not receiving call? All right. Cool. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting on y'all about the calls, and the calls ain't even hooked up. You're right. Let me reset this real quick, fast, in a hurry. Um, whew. Sorry, y'all. Let me take care of this real quick. Appreciate y'all hollering at me and letting me know that the phones were not working. Uh, Let me figure this out real quick. Bum bum bum. I'm gonna see if I can talk and do this at the same time. But yeah, there's a situation where at times we All right, let me see what we could do here. I don't know why we not working. Let me just see what's